Right, let's try this. Let's try this on a different stream. Right, let's try this. Does this work? If so, I might not hang around too much, since if it is going to crash and it is going to die, then I will get cracking on. Right, I'm just going to go and get cracking, because it's probably been long enough now, and also if the stream is really going to go fucky doody on me, then I kind of want to get part of the way into it. So, welcome to Tier 2, final round. I know we've had the Race of Champions this week, so we kind of know who's in there. For those who have, keep an eye on the Race of Champions, for those who don't and can't be asked, I will give you guys the final rundown, excuse me, going into this round for Tier 2. So going into this round for Tier 2, we will talk about the drivers very quickly. In 5th position we got Ross, in 4th we got Scotty, in 3rd we got Mortal, 2nd place we got Arcus, and still in the lead is Senor Fac. Now, Senor Fac needs really to win this, and Arcus to be out of the points for him to have an easy feature race. If Arcus comes into the points, Senor Fac needs to make sure he finishes. Stand by. I have a points sheet somewhere here on my phone, so I saved it like a good little puppy. Where did I save it? Just a moment, there it is. So, Senor Fac really needs to finish first, and if Arcus doesn't finish in the points at all, then it's Senor Fac's race to win. Whereas if Senor Fac doesn't finish and Arcus wins, then Senor Fac has to finish, I think it's about 8th and up, or I think he has to be at least in the top 10. So, there's a little bit of pressure on Senor Fac. There's also a little bit of pressure on Arcus as well. Looking further back, even the top 5 isn't all that secure. Everybody up to, from about 3rd down to 8th position, everyone's tussling for positions. There's only, in some cases, there's only 1 or 2 points split in drivers. So really, the top 8 can change at any one point in this race. Now, going on to the constructors, we're tied for 1st at the moment. The Lamborghinis and the Corvettes are battling it out for the constructors, for the Constructor Championship. We then got the GR Supras in 2nd, with the Nissan GTRs 7 points behind the Supras, and then 9 points behind the GTRs are the AMGs. So really, the Constructors is open as well. So, it's going to be quite important, this race, really, for a lot of the people. But enough chatting. I've talked way too much. We've waited way too long for this. Let's get going. So we got Senor Fac in 1st position. We got Higgsy in 2nd. The Porsche does not have great starts here at all, so I'm expecting Higgsy to drop down to about 5th-ish. Senor Fac's going to have quite a good, nice run, I believe, into turn 1. If Auto in 3rd, who was a Tier 4 driver last season, now a Tier 3 reserve driver this season. Why is my phone decided to start playing the stream? I don't know. So Auto, last time we saw him, at Monza, he was an absolute weapon in that Viper, so he could be quite the one to watch, here in the sprint. We then got Ross in 5th, we got Deco in 6th, we then got Mortal in 7th with Prime in 8th. So again, the Corvettes have locked out in the middle part of the grid. We then got Iro in 9th. We then got Scotty in 10th, the first of the Supras. We then got Tap in 11th. We got Arcus in 12th. Arcus has got a lot of work to do in these next 11 laps. We then got Pyro in 13th. We got Kanata in 14th. We got Mason in 15th. And bringing up the rear is Turbo in the last Supra. So the Supras haven't had the best qualifying session. And unlike Tier 3 and me and my teammate, the AMGs have had a sensible qualifying session. But enough chat. Let's get cracking. As we've got 5 red lights. There's a jump start in the back. Arcus has jumped the start, and away we go. I think Aro got a really good getaway as well. So Arcus has dropped all the way down to the bottom of the grid. Here comes Auto. Auto's taking the lead before we even hit going down the hill. As Poltiel's trying to overtake Senor Fak as well, going further back. What the hell has happened? How did you crash in the straight line? Right. Hang on, I've got the wrong buttons because I was playing Battlefield last night. That's better. So, how do you crash in a straight line? Whoa! I am impressed. I am very impressed. So Deco gets a really good start compared to Ross. Mortal's just launched off the line. So there goes Mortals all the way up into 4th position. That's not going to help you. So Deco's turned in a bit too early, hit the wall. That's now speared him off into Higgsy. Let's go from Ross's point of view. Ross has also hit the wall, so that's speared him into Prime Coil. So off goes... Hang on, let's come back. I think Aro's hit the wall as well. Let's come back here. So off goes Prime. Prime doesn't get it anywhere near as bad. And there's Carnage up ahead. Oh my... Oh, Jesus. Jesus Christ. What the... So Tap gets tangled up in this as well. Turbo gets tangled up in this, and he's just an innocent bystander by his own teammates. So the two Supras race are pretty much done, almost, and we're not even into the first corner. Right, I'm going to come back and I'm actually going to watch. Let's watch this again. This time we'll just keep going forward. Kanata at the back gets an absolutely fantastic start. Auto gets a brilliant start compared to that Lamborghini. Poltiel's trying to come through on the inside as well. There's Carnage in the background, which we've already kind of ascertained on what's going on. Let's stay with the top group. Kanata's up to 7th already as we come into turn 1. Auto leads from Senor Fak. Poltiel, Mortal's up to 4th. Deco's up to 5th. Kanata's up to 6th. Great start from Kanata. Is up to 7th. Pyro and Ross are side by side as we come charging into the tunnel for the first time. Who's going to get ahead? I think it might just about be Pyro, because that GTR's got a slight bit more straight line speed. There he goes. So Pyro's now ahead of Ross. Ross is in 9th. Arcus is in 10th. Great start from Arcus considering... oh my god. Alright, what's happened to you, mate? He turns in, does it? Oh, he gets murdered by his teammate! Oh no! So Aro murders Ross in the first round, and Ross repays the favour 8 rounds later. Oh dear. So Aro's now near the back of the grid, so Arcus is now up to 9th position, about to take his teammate up the inside and go up to 8th position. There goes Arcus. So Arcus is now in the point scoring position. Looking further back, we got Mason all over the back of Pyro. Was that a move? That is a move as Mason goes wide, coming into the final corner. Prime Core is going to capitalise and take the advantage. He is going to take the advantage. Here comes Tap. Tap's going to try and take the advantage as well. Tap's now trying to go around the outside on the very left-hand side of this circuit as he gets the move done as we dip down the hill round the right-hander where the massive accident happened a lap ago. Yeah, I would say that's certainly interesting as Prime Coil dives deep up the inside, trying to get up the inside of Pyro. That's not worked. We're now going 3 wide, now 2 wide because Tap's been showing the wall on the outside, charging down the back straight, going into the tunnel. Tap's going to have the slipstream of that Corvette. That Peugeot is not great in the straight line as it is, let alone when it's trying to battle someone in the slipstream. As we're coming side by side, coming out of the tunnel, Mason goes late on the brakes. Can he outbrake Tap? He kind of just about does. And here comes Scotty. Scotty's now going to try and capitalise on Tap's missed positions. We go round the right-hander. Tricky corner coming up here on the left. You don't want to take it too tight, you'll get a penalty. Or you don't want to take it too tight so you hit the wall. Going through the second tunnel, round the long left-hander. Tap's keeping the position at the moment. Let's go further forward. Arcus all over the back of Ross at the moment. Who's that in the wall? Was that who I thought it was? It is. Mortal up in 4th position at the moment. Deco a little bit sideways coming out of the tunnel. Mortal just doesn't get it right at all and then decides to play NASCAR wall ride around the left-hand bend. I mean, it's typical. I wouldn't say typical. I mean, at least he did it in an American car. Going further forward, Ross defends the inside line, trying to deny Arcus the switchback. Does it beautifully, but Arcus has got a much faster car in the straight line. There's a little bit of a bump there, and here comes Arcus. Kanata up to 5th position. Great opening couple of laps for him. Challenging Deco for 4th. We'll come to that in just a moment. We'll stay with these two. As Ross is on the outside, Arcus does a little lift, gets the car turned, now tries to go around the outside of Ross. Ross defends the inside line. Can he hold off? He can. Mortal goes very deep into the hairpin. Ross holds off 6th position at the moment, going further ahead. Oh, the sound of acting in this tunnel is awesome. As we come out of the tunnel, going into the second half of this tunnel, Kanata deep in the slipstream. Deco defends the inside line. Kanata tries to go around the outside. Does he get under? There's a little squiggle at the rear in protest. He's not able to do that this lap. Going further forward. Senor Fact not able to keep up with Auto. Auto is going to catch him so far. Coming further back. Excuse me. As I do not want to blow people's eardrums up with me coughing. Mortal's dropped down to 7th. He's now under pressure from Arcus in 8th position. As we come down the hill, Arcus trying around the outside line again, trying to carry the speed. Can he carry? No, he can't carry the speed this time around. I stay with these two because these two are very quick cars down the straight. As we come down the hill. Oh, Pyro goes a little deep. Very much offsets a hit, and this might be advantage Prime Coil, who got the better exit. I think Prime Coil did, so Prime and Pyro side by side as they come down into the tunnel, out the tunnel, still side by side. Pyro's just about starting to eke ahead a little bit, ever so slightly. That GTR is so quick down the straight, but here comes the braking zone. Prime up the inside of Pyro. Can Pyro hold it out around the outside? I don't think he can. Prime's now got the inside line for this next sequence of corners, and through goes Prime. Pyro down to 10th. Prime up to 9th, but Pyro's race is not over yet as he's got Mason all over the back of him. Looking further up the road. Let's go back up front. Let's stay here, let's stay with Pyro because Pyro, Mason and Tap are the closest 3 on track at the moment. No, I was about to say no instances have happened at the hairpin, but I stand corrected. Mason has very, very helpfully corrected me. How did you do that? Did you just get loose on the entry? I think... Ooh, was that a tap? Well, it was tap, but... Did tap Mason? That's going to be a mouthful to say in a quick succession. Was there a little bit? There was a tap. So Tap on the Alfa Romeo did give Mason a little nudge. I don't think he meant to at all. So Mason's race is not going to go well from this point onwards. He's going to have to put several laps in by himself. So Tap versus Pyro for 10th position. Reverse pole. This is going to be very, very critical for all these drivers really to get hold of. It's going to be critical for Pyro to hold. It's going to be critical for Tap and Scotty to try and get hold of. So we go round the right hander. Pyro is able to open up the gap just a little bit to Tap going through these sequence of corners as we go under the bridge. Tricky braking zone. You don't want to go too wide here, but you don't want to go too tight either. As we come through the next sequence of corners, these you can do pretty much almost flat out if you get the cornering just perfect. So we're coming into the final corner, out onto the main straight. Tap gets an excellent exit out of the final corner, uses the slipstream from Pyro to try and gets alongside. We go down the hill, round the right, and Tap now gets 10th position off of Pyro before we even hit the hairpin. Can Pyro re-engage attack? No, Scotty goes very, very deep. He's going to compromise his entry. Pyro and Tap are going to get the better exit. Here comes Higgsy. Higgsy's trying to go side by side with Scotty. Scotty's got the super and he's got the slipstream, so Scotty's position going to keep that position for the time being. Higgsy dives up the inside, coming out of the tunnel. Does he get it to work? There was a bit of contact there. Higgsy backs out of it, gives Scotty the position back for. He does not want to do a push pass. That will lead to a confirmed penalty. So Higgsy backs out of it. This has now backed him up into turbo. If these guys keep fighting as they are, this might bring Aro in, going further up. Pyro still under Tap's wing, still trying to put Tap under pressure, going further forward than that. We got Prime Coil versus Arcus. Arcus in 9th position at the moment. Prime in 8th. Mortal in 7th. Slowly catching up with Ross, who's in 6th. We then got Kanata in 5th, who's dropped off the back a little bit of Deco, who's in 4th. We got Potio in 3rd. We then got Senor back in 2nd. And still way out ahead is Auto. Excuse me, I do not want to blow up your eardrums again as I'm coughing. As Ross has to defend from Mortal. Mortal goes a slightly wider line. Can he straighten up that car? Not quite. He doesn't get it quite as straight as he probably wants to, but still gets a really good exit compared to Ross. Mortal's already alongside and pretty much ahead of Ross as we come out of the tunnel. So Mortal's now up to 6th position. Ross, can he re-attack? Can he counter-attack coming into this right-hander as we come out of the tunnel? He does have a look. He is a little bit later on the brakes. Can he get the car stopped? He can get the car stopped. Does he deny the switchback? He kind of does. He leaves Mortal with just about enough room as we come around the right-hander through the left. We're going side by side through the sequence of corners. You never really go side by side through. Can Ross hold it in nice and tidy? He can. So Ross holds 6th position as we come into the last tunnel of this lap. Mortal trying everything he can to get back past Ross, going further back. We got Prime Core versus Arcus. Arcus is all over the back of the other Corvette. These Corvettes need to get punching through because at the moment Lamborghini's going to run away with this Constructors' Championship. Arcus needs to get through on Prime Coil, so he has a slight chance of hitting Senor Fact and his championship lead. I don't think he's going to be honest, this time. With 3 laps to go, he's got a couple of positions to make up. Going further back than that, Tap's managed to open up a massive gap out to Pyro, who's opened up a huge gap to Higgsy, who's finally gotten past Scotty in the past couple of laps. Let's go further forward to the action. Arcus has dropped a bit off the back of Prime Coil. Prime Coil's dropped off a little bit the back off his teammate, and his teammate's still trying to chase down Ross. Let's come back. Let's stay with Arcus and Tap. Arcus defends the inside line. Tap tries to go around the outside. He gets the switchback. Does he get alongside enough to deserve space? He gets a little bit of space, but then the door is very firmly shut as Pyro in the background goes a little bit off the track. Cuts a little bit of the corner. I think he should get away with it. Let's have a look. No, he doesn't get away with it, so he's got a half-second penalty for corner cutting. So this is going to drop him back probably to about Scotty. This might be an easy pass here for Higgsy to get up into 11th place. Let's go further forward. Let's jump on board with Mortal for just a moment. Let's see what Mortal can do coming down the straight. As everyone behind us slightly opened up the gap. The top 5 have really opened up and spread out themselves out compared to the rest of the pack. Oh, Mortal does go for it. Mortal goes for a very, very late lunge with a capital L up the inside of Ross. That hasn't worked, so that's compromised Mortal's line a little bit. This might allow his teammate Prime to get up on the back of him. I'm going to go back and let's watch where Pyro comes out. It does come, like I thought, come out just ahead of Scotty though. But Scotty's going to have the overspeed advantage. Is Pyro going to just let him through, or is he going to fight for it? Whoa, careful, Scott. I'm going to go, I want to have a look at that before we check out this yellow flag. Was he alongside enough? No, he was nowhere near it. Scotty had to do a little lift. Going further up ahead. Ross. Oh no, what's happened to Ross? Oh dear. Kind of lost it a little bit himself, and then he got helped around by Mortal. Careful, oh, careful. So Ross was doing so well with 2 laps to go. Is he going to be able to get back underneath Scotty? He's going to try and get back underneath Scotty. He's got front and rear bumper damage, so that's not going to help him through the corners. It's going to make him a little bit slower. But he's going to give it a good crack anyway. They're still side by side as they come down the hill through the S's. We got Turbo Boy pushing Ross along as he's... What the... I look back and carnage happens. Let's go from Turbo's point of view. Actually, yeah, we'll stay in this point of view because it's probably going to be best. So pretty much here, Ross has got the move done as he gets... Oh... A huge accident has happened. So this is basically throwing the A right out. So Ross got prepared coming out of the S16. Further up ahead, Aro's gone up the inside of Turbo Boy, so Aro's now up to 12th position. Pyro's up in the lonely 11th. Higgsy's in the lonely 10th. Further up ahead, we've got Arcus versus Mortal versus Tap, as Tap goes very late on the brakes as he goes up the inside. I want to have another look at this. So Arcus defends the inside, but Tap's gone very late. Sorry, I was catching up with the chat as well, following this back through. So Tap goes very late up the inside, gets past Mortal. Mortal trying to get past Arcus. That hasn't worked this time around. He's now lost a position out to Tap. Tap now up to 8th position. Further up ahead, Arcus is in 7th, Prime's in 6th, and Kanat is in 5th at the moment with 1 lap to go. Let's come back and have a look. So there's a big gaggle of cars back here. Turbo's managed to get back past Aro. I'm sure guessing it's under the brakes coming out of the tunnel. Aro's gone a little deep. Is this going to allow Mason to have a look up the inside? No, it's not, but he's definitely gotten a lot closer. The AMGs have not had a great time at all this race. We'll stay with these two before we go up front as Mason tries to go up the inside of Aro. Can he get it to work? Now turns to the outside, then to the inside. Who keeps the momentum? Aro defends. Aro goes very deep and very defensive. Mason tries to get the switch back. Aro's gotten a little twitchy on exits. This can be a clean move from Mason. And Mason's got it done before we hit the tunnel. But let's go up front to a man that we haven't seen for a whole season, and I haven't given him much screen time at all because he's just taken off from the get-go and they're not untouchable. since as he comes around the final couple of sequence of corners. It's great to see him back on track. It's great to see him back doing what I feel he does really well, and that's driving on a track with other people as he comes around the final corner untouched through 11 laps of this race, and Kiko in fourth, so that's pretty much Lamborghini constructors almost signed off. We've got Kanata in a fantastic fifth position in the Z4. We've got Prime Coil in sixth. We've got Arcus in seventh, Mortal in eighth, Tap in ninth, Higgsy rounding off the top 10. We then got Pyro in 11th, Turbo in 12th. You got Mason in 13th, Aro in 14th, Ross in 15th, and Scotty bringing up the rear in 16th. Wow, what a start to that race.